I am live. Hello, hello, hello. So I am just I was meant to go to the park, but baby boy has fallen asleep. So I thought I'll just jump on a live while I am waiting. There we go, for him to wake up. I hope the lighting is okay. I'm on my phone again. Hope the audio is okay as well. I know I have been MIA for 3 weeks now. Life just happened. So this week I'm aiming to jump on here at least 3 times to kind of catch up with what I've missed. But yeah, let's just jump right into this week's topic anyway. And it is love and fear. So that's what they were talking about in these chapters. So it starts from chapter 14 to 16 of the audio version. So it started off by, are you awake? It started off basically by saying that the sponsoring thought of anything we do comes from love or fear. And yeah, basically, so every single action, it's not just a relationship, it's everything. So whether it's your business, whether it's what you're choosing to eat that day, whether it's anything, basically, absolutely everything. When you make a decision, the sponsoring thought from that decision is either love or fear. And that made me think. It made me think. So what it's it's basically just made me think, right? Like, now I'm going to pay more attention to why I've chosen certain things. And I think that's a good thing for us all to do as well. If we just sit and think like, okay, why have I chosen to do this? You know, are you rushing to try and, I don't know, start a business because of fear of money for one? Or are you rushing to, I don't know, it could be absolutely anything, but that's what I'm going to do, to just sit and think like, right, why actually am I doing this? Is this what I'm aiming to do? Is it coming out of fear or is it coming out of love? Yes, I found that interesting. And also, to be fair, like when it first was mentioned in the book, I thought, nah, that's not the case. But when I actually sat and thought about it, it's true. You know, the reason why you actually do certain things comes from either love or fear. So it's like choosing which one you'd want it to come from ultimately. And then it basically went on to talk about what the difference is between fear and love. So it mentioned like fear, it's the type of energy that contracts, it closes down, it draws in, causes you to run, to hide, it will harm and hoard. Whereas love, it expands, it opens up, it sends out, it stays, it reveals, it shares, and it heals. It mentioned an interesting point as well. It says more, you know, fear clings, clutches, holds close, whereas love gives, holds dear. And this one I found interesting. It says fear wraps our bodies in clothing, whereas love allows you to stand naked. Now, I find that interesting because the truth is, I know with how society is, if we were to just see pure people just starting to walk naked, it would just look so weird and so cringe. But it's like, the reality is that our skin is our covering, you know. You just watch many movies that's like, where, you know, they're like, go and see tribal people, even Avatar, the blue people, with what they're wearing, their skin is their clothing. They've just got like little, whether it's beads, a covering for their loin area, and that's about it. So I found that interesting because I know a lot of people, especially some religions, like mainly Islam, but some Christianic faiths, Judaism, and many different faiths as well. It's like you should be covered from head to toe, more or less, up until your ankles. You can't really have anything above the knee showing, can't really have any much of your arms showing. You're alone on a beach, you know. So I found that interesting. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Whenever whoever watches this video, about nakedness and clothing, because you've got that conception as well of nakedness is nasty, but modesty is godly. Yeah. So what are your thoughts? Me personally, obviously, I'm not going to walk around naked nowhere because I'm just not comfortable with that. We've not kind of been seen as the norm of that unless it's on a beach. But I see as whatever people are wearing, really, as long as you're comfortable, then it's okay. And I don't really think people should judge people for what they're wearing. If people look good just in their skin and bikinis and wear that all day, you know, because there's some people who do that, who live on Instagram. And that's great, you know. If I was in a country to do that, that would be fantastic. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that anyway? You're right, baby. You okay? Did you have a nice nap? Okay, he's woke up, so I won't stand here long, probably about 10 minutes. So yeah, so then Neil Donald Walsh went and asked a question saying, what, when it comes to making a decision, why is it that fear always wins? And then it went on to explain that is because we've been programmed, basically. This is taught, but it's a program, isn't it? We've been programmed to act out of fear. And thinking back, that's all it's ever been, really. And the truth is, the people doing that, the people teaching you, don't realize that they're actually doing that. Should I come into the sun? Can you see me better? They don't realize that they're actually doing that. For example, schools. I remember, and press the like button if you remember this. In school, you constantly hear, oh, you need to make sure you do this because when you're older, such and such, or you won't be able to do such and such, and blah, blah, blah. And then in college, it's the same thing. You won't be able to do such and such when you're in uni, so you need to make sure you do this. And it was fear without them realizing it's fear, you know. So you're going to go ahead and do this because you need to make sure you get a good job, because if you don't, then this will happen. And it's fear. So rather than coming from love, it's coming from fear. And when it's coming from fear, really, it makes everything that much harder to actually do it. It's more difficult to do it coming from fear than love. So yeah, it's like the survival of the fittest that they made clear. And it's true, because that's what you're trying to do. It's like, oh, you know, you're competing. It's like you're competing against all of these people in your class. Not only your class, everyone in the whole world who's the same age as you. And you've got to make it through getting a degree and living and retiring at whatever age. And it's fear. Even saying that now, the pension scheme, they're like, oh, you know, you must make sure you have a pension, or you must make sure you stay in work to get your pension, because when you're older, you need the pension, because without it, blah, blah, blah. Everything is fear. And I'm going to make sure now that I take time and look. Obviously, you look on the news, majority of it is fear anyway, but just pay attention. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pay attention and be like, okay, where is this coming from? Is this actually coming from love or fear? What are they talking about? From whoever is giving information, where is it coming from? Is it love or fear? Because it makes a big difference, but you don't realize that. Yeah, so then it went on to say, when we actually come from love ourselves, that's when we're able to experience our own being in all its glory. But the only way to do that is to kind of get rid of what we've been taught, get rid of the misinformation that we've been given from the world, and listen to our own inner voice. That, in a nutshell, that's basically what it said. It says our own inner voice is the best thing because it's the closest source. It's the closest source. It's the closest to you. It's the easiest way you'll be able to hear. It's the because it's so close to you, that's the most trustworthy source. That's what it went on to say. And yeah, it kind of finishes there for that, but I quite like that. So I'm gonna, my aim, obviously being a mother, my aim really is for the best of my ability to help raise my son through love and to help him understand choices through love, because even when looking at him now and watching him grow, it honestly seems like the majority, if not all, of what he does is out of love. He just wakes up, he's just happy for the new day. He's trying new things purely for the love of probably getting to know it. But he's at the age now where thankfully or I hope no negative, or at least not too much negative emotions of fear is incorporated into him. So the aim is to keep it as minimum as possible. But yeah, so I quite like that one. So for anyone watching this at any time, just sit and think, where is this sponsoring thought coming from? Is it coming from love or is it coming from fear? And yeah, is it coming from love or fear? You choose. So I'm going to leave it there because I don't know how much data this is using on my phone. I'm going to take my boy to the park now and we're going to have a good time, ain't we? Yes we are. Okay, so if you like the video, hit the like button. I'll see you most likely on Wednesday or Friday, I don't know. See ya. How do I stop this now again? Oh, how do I stop it? It takes a while. No, that's just turning it around.